This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at safernet.com.
Welcome to the Digital Desperados podcast featuring dark tales from the web. Patrick McMurphy's back today to tell us another dark tale, and he's joined by Brad Hawkins, founder and CEO of SaferNet and SaferNet VPN. I'm Jim Brangenberg, and I'll try to serve as your story guide and keep crowd control under wraps maybe a little bit. When you have a VPN, your internet access is made easier because it speeds up substantially, especially with SaferNet VPN. Your ultimate cybersecurity solution. Protect your business with ease. Enjoy the power of virtual private network. And what it does is it just keeps all those bad guys out and just speeds up your access to the internet because it's getting those people out of your way. 200 internet controls, 84 website filters, antivirus protection, all in one app. Stay safe online wherever you go. We've even tried this on the free Wi-Fi at hotels. SaferNet, online at safernet.com. That's safernet.com. Patrick McMurphy, which dark tale are you going to freak us out about today?
Yeah, well, today I want to talk about Alexander Zhukov, aka Nastra, the king of fraud. So Nastra is born in 1980 in Russia. Like a lot of these guys, we don't know a lot about their upbringing, their childhood, their education. But what we do know specifically about Nastra is that from an early age, he's involved in fraud. And now I'm not actually just talking about online fraud here. He described himself as an experienced scam artist or adventurer. He learns the ropes of fraud on the streets in real life, as any scam artist would. He had street smarts, in other words. So this guy is going around the streets.
So do you imagine him one of those guys that are shuffling cups around on a table?
The whole thing, card tricks, everything, the whole 9 yards.
Whatever he can do to make a buck.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm thinking it was the can you give me change kind of scam. I saw that demonstrated on Northern Exposure, an old episode of Northern Exposure. Obviously, they're all old, 30 years. But lady says, "Can you give me cash for 20?" No, I don't want it. No, I changed her mind. Can you just give me cash? And she ends up making about $45 on the deal. Maybe that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I think so. And Nastra wasn't making a ton of money from what he was doing. And so one evening, and this is actually revealing later court documents, Nastra is out drinking with his buddies, and he comes up with this plan where he, and I quote, needed money as soon as possible. But he thinks up of this plan. How can he defraud as many people as possible at the same time? So Nastra, in early 2010s, he relocates to Bulgaria. He assembles a team of people around himself. These are people who are interested in hacking that he discovered on the web. So in other words, he hires a team of hackers. Nastra and his team invest a lot of time and a lot of money into something to create something called MethBot. This is very simple bot, but it's very effective. Now, I'll get in a second what MethBot does, because you'll see on the run-up how it all operates. So in 2014, Nastra starts his own advertising company called Media Methane. And so, as you can probably tell, this was using MethBot as well. So Media Methane rents out a huge number of data centers.
I got to just tell you, for those of you here in America listening to this show, what he's really saying is Media Methane. He's just want to make sure people understood actually what you're saying.
I'm still going to say methane.
You can say whatever you want to say. I just want people to understand what you're saying.
But so he's rented out all these data centers in America and in the Netherlands, and he's using these to create fake websites which spoof domains. And so now you're asking, okay, what is he doing with all these? How does all this work? So we'll say it like this, right? You work for a company and you want to advertise your company. So you find Media Methane online. They offer cheap and effective advertising. They're claiming that they can advertise on websites such as Wall Street Journal, Fox, CNN, all the big media websites. So you pay the guys. So Nastra then uses all these servers to spoof entire media websites that show your ad. So he sends you a link to, we'll say, Fox, and it looks legit. It's today's Fox, and you see your ad playing on it, and you think, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. It's not the real ad. It's not the real website, in fact. It is the real ad, but it's showing to no one, because what's happening is that when you go and check your numbers, who's watching your ad, you say, oh, thousands of humans are watching it. They're not humans, they're MethBot. That's exactly what MethBot is. It's a group of fake humans used to watch your advertisements, but in reality, no humans ever watch these ads.
So they're hacking small business is what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Small business. And they're convincing small business that, hey, you pay me a bunch of money, I'm going to get you on the major medias, and pay me. I'll give you a link to show you that it's on there. And then they have this bot that comes in and shows multiple visits so that they can say, gosh, look at what traffic we just gave you. Is that right?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
I swear I saw my ad on CNN the other day. I thought for sure that was legitimate.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any idea what he was charging for that?
I don't have the total number for MethBot. I do have a kind of figure at the end, but I mean, when you look at the peak of MethBot, it was generating about 400,000 video impressions per day using just fake people, and all this, as you suggested, this goes into fraudulent ad revenue. So there's significant money here. But it wasn't enough for Nastra, and especially Nastra and his team, because Nastra is
now, before you go any further, this is a little bit exciting to me about SaferNet, because SaferNet blocks all new websites that we've not had a chance to crawl yet. So they would be very frustrated for anybody that happens to be using SaferNet, because if they sent me a link and said, hey, here's your brand new site, it would just automatically block it. And then I would have an opportunity to say, I don't like this idea. Can you give me my money back? And they, of course, would disappear. So,
But I mean, so Nastra, again, he's a greedy guy. He's actually taking 75% of the earnings from the team all for himself, but he wants a lot more. MethBot actually begins winding down, and this is because it's getting a lot of heat from people like white hat hacking operations and companies, basically the good guys. People are starting to take notice, like they would if they had SafeNet, Brad, as you suggested.
Yeah, let's just tell people, if you're getting into this conversation, we're having a good time today. Check out SaferNet. I don't know why you wouldn't check out SaferNet. Seriously, we put it in all of our organizations that we run, that my wife and I run. SaferNet.com. It's affordable. It's effective. I mean, it's super effective. It's a great VPN. It's got great internet filters, website controls, antivirus. SaferNet.com. Seriously, check it out. This is a legit deal. SaferNet.com.
So Nastra and his team begin to work on something more sophisticated. And so it's called Eve. When you look up Eve, it's actually spelled as 3VE. It's just an old internet kind of speak, but it's called Eve. And so Eve would take the idea behind MethBot and make it more industrial. So what Nastra and the gang start doing, they start sending phishing emails to consumers and businesses, hoping to infect them with an Eve botnet. So not only was Eve spreading through phishing, they had built alliances with other hackers, so Eve could be bundled with other malware. So you get one virus, you might get Eve and 10 others at once. So it's a bundled deal of viruses.
So it's like a discount.
What a deal, right? Yeah, exactly.
Just as a quick reminder, a phishing email is something that looks extremely legitimate. You click on a link that's in the email that you may think you recognize it, and that link takes you to a place that you really don't want to be going. Exactly. But that's a phishing email. So anyway, I just want to clarify that for anybody that might be new listening to this.
So it's not like those things that come up on my Facebook feed that said, hey, try this new phishing app. It's not that.
No.
Okay.
But the thing is with Eve, you could never actually detect Eve running on your computer. It would be using most of your processing power to watch ads in the background all day. So if you're infected with Eve, you don't know, but your computer seems to be running very slowly. That's because you don't know, but it's watching ads in the background using your computer. So Eve ends up on 1.7 million computers. The operation was capable, just Eve alone, was capable of generating between 3 and 12 billion fake ad views per day, which is a lot.
Wow.
And so when you look at money figures, if you combine Methbot and Eve, it earned Nastra about $36 million in 4 years. It was a huge scam. Probably good business, but a massive scam.
Well, he reached his goals, right?
Yeah.
He scammed a lot of people at once.
Yeah, but how do those people, Brad, not figure out that they're being scammed? Because, I mean, after a while, you figure I'm spending money, but my sales aren't increasing. So what's the deal with that? I mean, these guys are showing me all this success. I mean, how could SaferNet have, well, you just already said it one time, well, if they went out to test drive that actual website that the guy's saying is there, they'd find out it's not real. But how does SaferNet keep us from getting, what if Eve is on my computer? I mean, how does SaferNet intercede in this situation?
Well, first off, Eve would not get on your computer if you're using SaferNet because we're going to block any phishing emails that are going to pop in and try to get you to load that. Now, if SaferNet was an afterthought, you probably need to run something to be able to analyze your disk to be able to see what's on there. And if it is pushing you off again, it'll catch it. But it's really, once you get that virus on there, you've got to get the virus off. And that's critical.
Patrick, I'm just amazed. This guy was pretty clever. I mean, especially the packaging of malware. Hey, we got a package deal for you today. We're not going to infect your computer with one piece of malware. We're going to get you 12 for the price of one today.
Exactly. And I mean, after making all this money, Interpol and the FBI notice him and they're working together. They find shell companies in Bulgaria, Croatia, Malta. They're all tied to Media Methane and Nastra. He's not very good at hiding himself at this point. The Bulgarians catch on first, really, and by request of the Department of Justice, Nastra gets extradited in January 2019. The court case is really long. It's actually a very detailed one. There was a huge amount of investigation done into his business dealings, basically, while Eve was running rampant. And so following a jury trial in May 2021, he gets convicted of wire fraud and money laundering. He's sentenced to 10 years in prison, and he's ordered to pay $4 million for his crimes. But yeah, I mean, that's the story of Nastra. And what it is that when someone gets a virus from phishing, they expect to see the virus or know what's going on. But in a lot of cases, it can be like an Eve bot situation where something's running in the background and you don't even know, but you're actually making some guy in Bulgaria millions of dollars. So he had to pay $4 million in 10 years for $36 million. Yeah, that was my question too. But I'm assuming a lot of it got confiscated, but otherwise he's going to be very rich when he comes out of prison. But
so how long ago did he go to prison?
That was 3 years ago, so he's out in 7.
Yeah, he's probably out by now. He's probably got put in California jails. They let people out right away. They don't have to keep people in there. And then the Russians, he's probably working with the Russians already.
Probably, yeah.
It could be that those Eve viruses are still running and paying him in the background.
Yeah, more than likely, honestly.
Yeah, how does that stuff get even shut off? I mean, because he could have it on servers anywhere. He said he had servers. Where'd you say he had servers? How many servers did he have?
Across the US and Netherlands. So, I mean, both continents there. So he was definitely, shooting for the stars.
Wow. That is amazing. So there could be people running Eve right now and they don't even know it. It's just slowing down their
100%. The Eve or some variant of Eve is definitely running on billions.
Well, and if he gets caught doing it and he was working with this number of people, well, guess what? Those people are probably figuring out, well, look at how much money he made. That's how he got caught. I'm going to figure out a way not to get caught and do the same thing.
Exactly.
So, wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's working for somebody already. He's in prison. He's working for somebody. He's working for the FBI now. These guys always get hired by the best. Unbelievable. Patrick McMurphy, another great story of nasty Nastra. Love that right here. You heard it here. The internet and everything digital can have a dark side with a lot of dark players. It's why you need SaferNet by your side. VPN, antivirus, internet controls, web filters, and it's just so much more. Thanks to SaferNet for supporting our efforts to bring these stories to your ears and give them the exposure that they need. But you might want to run an antivirus. Make sure Eve's not running on your computer or one of her offspring. For your own security and the security of those you love and those you work with, check out safernet.com and get secured today. Until the next time, don't click on any links you don't know. And if you get a link from somebody you trust, but you're not sure they knew they were sending you a link, delete it, or you may become the next victim of a digital desperado.
This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at safernet.com. World War III started on your computer when Al Gore unleashed the internet in 1994. Want to fortify your business against cyber attacks? SaferNet VPN is the answer. Our easy-to-use cybersecurity app protects your enterprise on all fronts. Plus, secure your family's online journey with powerful internet filters. Embrace simple yet robust cybersecurity with SaferNet VPN now. Get secured now. Sign up at safernet.com. That's safernet.com.